this on the radio, where he says, you may say to yourself, how did I get here? Something like that. And you're up on stage in front of a bunch of strangers playing a song written by a total stranger about something you don't understand, with a voice that's out of key. And there's 3 different people buzzing around trying to fix the equipment a la Spinal Tap. Yeah! You start to wonder, how did I get here? What are we doing? With any value? Well, we've all read or heard maybe the verse from the Bible that says, whether you eat or drink, do all things in the Word of God. So, if you've got food, go on and eat it. If you've got something to drink, do that. If you want to listen to something you can't sing, try to sing people's songs. Do that to glory God. Here. What shall we do? What's that? Something fun, you said? Fun's never been my forte. Traditionally, the stick in the mud from my groups for the years of, finding these scriptures that say, turn your laughter to sorrow and your joy to gloom. Weep, mourn, and wail. You're double-minded, you hypocrite. All these things. You say Jesus weeping and teaching. Blessed are you who weep. Blessed are you who mourn. Blessed are you poor in spirit. Woe to you who laugh. These are difficult teachings for those of us relying on emotional happiness or fun and trying to follow that rabbi who taught that there is not so much God's waiting to knock you down if you're laughing, but in some ways it might be living in denial of a certain reality. Like if you're on a sinking ship and you kind of don't want to face the reality of what's happening, so you lock yourself in your cabin and you shut the windows, you say everything's fine, and you start playing a video game or something to escape the reality of your life, which is it's going down. And of course, we know the reality of the life that we are living, in so much as it's us living it, is going in one place. It's all going back to the ground. It's all turning into the dirt. Everything, all of the dirt goes back to the dirt. And so there's something about fun, on a certain level, that has had this emptiness for me. It's like, you laugh, but then at the end of the day, you say, oh, for my heart anyway, there's something missing. And sometimes it's being able to really look at my heart as it truly is, and sometimes it's just tears and tears and tears, and you just cry, you see, that's who I am, that's who I am. But then there's like joy, a feeling of peace and joy that comes with those tears, of looking at reality as it is, and not trying to cover up the pain within you or ignore it, but facing it head on or turning the light on and looking at it. And then it doesn't seem very powerful then. It's this backwardness where if we try to cover up our pain with fun, or having a good time, or telling jokes, or entertainment, or sexual pleasure, or material wealth, or religious highs, whatever it is, covering it up, throwing dirt over it, it doesn't go away. It's like a mold or something that grows in the dark. It multiplies when we ignore it or when we deny it. But when we turn a light on, when we uncover it, when we dig and we shake all the dirt out of the way, we let the sunlight shine on it, that fungus, that mold just goes away on its own. You can't live in the light. So this is an encouragement that, not that you shouldn't have fun, if fun's where your heart's at, but there's this subtlety to it, that if we're looking for fun, we're trying to find happiness in this world, we're trying to find peace, that's our goal. I want to be happy. We have a way of destroying happiness because it ends up being a self-centered pursuit. It's like, I want to find this experience, or I want to be happy. And we might, if we look at the backwardness of the gospel, we might accept at least the possibility that we could find true peace in giving up our pursuit that I would find happiness. And giving thanks for whatever comes. Not to say we try to glorify depression or we dive into dark things, but we just look at reality as it is. We look at our hearts as they are. We accept our heart as it is, not pretending before God, coming before God saying, I have more faith than I do, I love you, I believe in you, I trust in you. If that's not the reality, you might deceive yourself into saying, oh, I have so much faith. But you never moved a mountain. Something within you remembers that verse and says, if you have even faith like a mustard seed, you can move a mountain, tell it to go from there to there. Peter walked on water. His shadow healed people. We know all the miracles Jesus performed. They had faith in God. Do we do those things? It's not to criticize you or condemn myself even. I just look at my own life and say, no, my shadow's never healed anybody as far as I know. No, I've never raised somebody from the dead. I've never given sight to the blind. So you start to accept, maybe I don't have faith. Maybe I don't have faith in God. Maybe I have faith in the things of this world. I definitely have faith in science or medicine. If I was sick, I'd much sooner go to the doctor than go to a prayer meeting. So you start to realize that you really have faith in beyond what your words can say. And then it's a starting point. It's not a place to end, to say, oh, I have no faith, or I trust in the world, or I have no love, or I don't love God, I don't believe in God. And then what are you going to do? Say, well, I guess I better just dive into the world and live a life of pleasure and selfishness. Well, you're going to find out very quickly, if you pay attention at all, that that's a dead end road. But so is this pretending that you have faith. So is this pretending to be a devout, a good Christian and a strong person and a faithful person. But if we could use our darkness, use our ignorance, use our wickedness, use our blindness as a starting point for accepting God's grace. If we use that as what we're bringing to the table, that is to say, if we come to God without any righteousness, without any accomplishments, we don't come to God showing what we've done. We don't come to God saying, you have to accept me because I do these good things. You have to accept me because I don't do these bad things. You have to accept me because I have so much faith. It's all trusting in yourself, in your faith, in your works. So this is an attempt to strengthen your faith in God. To strengthen God's, in a subtler way, the Spirit within you, which is what will trust in God. God's grace will give you the strength to trust in God. So we read these sometimes in the scriptures, and not only is it God who receives us and accepts us and forgives us and loves us, it's even the Spirit of God that calls us to repentance. God is the one who accepts repentance, also the one who causes repentance. So we can't even take credit for that. We say, I had this great conversion experience, and I have converted, and now I'm a good Christian, and these guys are still lost because they're in the bar, or they're in the brothel, or they're in another religion, but I know the truth now. You don't have any sense of, I got this thing. You just point to God. You say, God is the merciful. God is the one who called me. God is the one who forgives me. And only by that mercy, only by that grace, there's no sense of entitlement to it. No sense of